My evenings typically begin with turning on all of our Christmas lights. Sometimes I have these on throughout the day, but on this particular day, we just waited to turn them on. Since the sun sets so much earlier now, I always like turning on every single light possible just to bring in that warmth in the evenings. I know that winter nights can definitely be tough for a lot of people with just getting less sunlight in the evening. I know a lot of us do not look forward to daylight savings, and so for me, when it comes to my winter night routine, I really try to make it something that is just warm and cozy and inviting, because I know that often, especially as we get into January, February, March, don't often feel those feelings a lot, especially if you are in a much colder climate. Thankfully, I'm in Texas, so it doesn't feel too chilly right now, but I know in some climates it can be tough. And so while not every night looks exactly like this, it's not always this involved. I don't make this more intense meal and just have like this really romantic evening. I do try to incorporate elements of these things within all of my winter nights. And so my nights typically start, I would say, around 5 o'clock or so. That definitely varies depending on how much work that I have, but I would say typically on average it's around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. And so I like to have some sort of kind of marker to end the night. I think especially with doing a job online when you work from home, it's easy for those things to blur, and work time gets into personal time. And so this is something that I talked about this in my autumn night routine too, but it's something that I always try to incorporate into my night routines, is just having one thing to break up the night. And tonight that is going to be making a simmer pot. This is one of my favorite things to do in the winter time. It's a super easy way, I think, just to make your home feel a lot more cozy. I definitely do not do this every single night, but in the winter time I think that they're really fun just to kind of spruce up your home, make it smell good. So let's head to the kitchen and do that. If you've never heard of a simmer pot, essentially you just add a bunch of stuff into a pot on your stove that is not super hot, so usually just on a lower temperature. I love doing these around Christmas time. I think they're really sweet, and they also just add a nice fragrance to your home, especially if you're not trying to burn candles. I think these are great, and you can kind of throw in whatever you have on hand. For me personally tonight, I'm just going to use a few oranges. I'm going to slice these. We have apples that are about to go bad, so I'm going to throw in an apple. I don't normally do that. And then I also have some rosemary, as well as some cinnamon sticks and cranberries. I don't really measure anything. I just kind of throw everything in, and eventually the longer that it simmers on the pot, it makes your house smell really good. So we're gonna make this. I also wanted to note, in true winter fashion, that I have a very gnarly cold sore right now that is very swollen, so just ignore that. peppermint tea. I especially love doing this in the winter time. I'm not a huge tea person, especially in the morning time, but there's something about having this in the evening that is just nice for unwinding. But I'm also going to watch a show to unwind tonight. I typically like to either read or watch something when I finish work, whether that be a YouTube video, a novel that I'm reading at the moment, but I am so excited because season 3 of The Chosen came out and we love The Chosen. You guys probably know I've talked about them, especially back when I was doing my podcast. I would share The Chosen all the time because I love this show so much, and I think it's so fitting that season 3 just came out during, you know, this Advent season, close to Christmas time, and I'm so thankful to be partnering with Angel Studios on today's video. This is seriously a dream because if you guys have never watched The Chosen, it is incredible. I talked about in my morning routine how a lot of times during the Christmas time, I think it's easy to get just distracted by a lot of, you know, the more material aspects of Christmas with decorations and gifts, and I love those things a lot, but it's nice to have things that help me focus on what Christmas is about. And for me as a Christian, that's about the life of Jesus and who he is. And that is essentially what The Chosen is about. It shows the life of Jesus and the miracles that he performed and his work. And it is an incredibly captivating show to watch. Just the production level alone, it is a phenomenal show. And I think, especially for me as someone who has been a Christian for a while, who was raised around reading the Bible often, it's easy to gloss over what these stories mean and to kind of forget the impact that they had. But The Chosen does such an amazing job of bringing these stories to life and really humanizing everyone in the Bible. It just makes everything seem so much more real. Especially, I actually already watched episode 1 of season 3, but Aiden and I were gonna watch them tonight too. But I especially love that this episode, it shows a lot of the Sermon on the Mount, which is just incredible. One of my personal favorite verses is Philippians 4:6-7 that talks about not being anxious, and hearing that on the show and just seeing it, it makes everything just seem so much more real. And it's also just entertaining too. It's a great show to watch. The show is absolutely free to watch, but if you do love it, you can always pay it forward in the app for the next family to enjoy it for free as well. This also helps make more seasons to come. Angel Studios also has a TV app on every major streaming device, so we personally just watch it on our TV, but you can watch it on your phone. Basically any device that's going to allow you to stream. It's super accessible. I'm probably going to go ahead and watch episode 2 and then just rewatch them tonight because they are so good, but I will have the Angel Studios app linked down below if you guys want to check them out. Again, it's all for free, and they also have other shows and movies on there too. We actually watched one called The Testament recently, and that one was all about the story of Acts, and it was also just incredible, so well done. I'll have that link down below. It is about 6 o'clock now, and this is usually when we go out and take Cash for a little walk. And something that's really fun to do during the Christmas time especially is we go to this one neighborhood and they have so many just beautiful Christmas lights. People go all out, and so anytime that we have the chance to go over there and just drive over and do that, we take our little evening walk over there because it is just so nice over there. And we usually walk Cash for probably about 30 minutes to 45 minutes in the evening. It's always one of my favorite parts of the night, especially during this season, and is also something that I want to continue doing into January too, is actually driving and walking elsewhere. It's a nice way to kind of break up the night and also get out into nature for a little bit. Oh yeah.
Should we pick up some dessert on the way?
We are back from our walk now. It was really nice. I just changed into some comfy PJs, even though I am still gonna shower tonight too. I just wanna get started on dinner because it's 7 o'clock. And I also made myself a little, I call these mocktails, but today I just used this one. This one is from Olipop. It's called Crisp Apple. I really like the Olipop drinks. They're really good. And I just added in some cranberries and some rosemary. Super nice. I always like to drink something while I'm cooking dinner, but tonight I'm making a sausage and kale tortellini soup. It looks really good. I found this one because it came up on my Instagram reels. I feel like that's been the main way I've been finding new recipes lately. And this one looks so good. I definitely find myself just craving more kind of soups and chilies, warmer meals in the winter time. I do still like to do some more like fresh things too, but I definitely think in the winter there's something comforting about making a nice soup, and it's also nice to have just throughout the week leftovers because it always tastes better the longer that it's in the fridge. And so I'm excited to try this one. I've never done this one before. Also excited to get a lot of kale in. I always like when you can sneak in the vegetables in the soups too because you don't really taste them that much. So we're gonna try this one tonight. Some nights we will eat at our table, but because we wanted to watch The Chosen, we brought our soup over to the TV to enjoy with our show. I also always love switching our smart bedroom lighting to the candlelight setting in the evenings. It just gives off a very warm tone vibe that also helps us wind down in the evenings. Our oven is preheating right now because I'm making some of those little Christmas tree sugar cookies. We've had these for a while. I'm trying to go through them, but I always crave some sort of dessert in the evening. So we're making some of those. And until then, I'm gonna take a shower. I'll sometimes take a bath, especially more in the winter time, but that's probably like once every other week or so. And I also need to wash my hair. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a shower, but something I've been trying to do more recently, this is like a habit that I know is so good for me, but for some reason I am so low maintenance when it comes to my shower routine, my skincare routine. I don't like using a lot of products and having these intense routines. I like to like wash my face, throw on moisturizer, not have anything too complex, but I know how good dry brushing is for my body. And so I've been trying to do this a little bit more recently, and I always dry brush my bikini area because I do get Brazilian waxes, and so it's really helpful for exfoliating. But I've been trying to use this more for my entire body, just for circulation. And I'm sure you guys know the benefits of dry brushing, but I will read some of them. The biggest thing is that it promotes circulation. So it says, by dry brushing your skin, you increase circulation and promote blood flow so that skin cells can turn over and renew. Poor blood circulation circulation, can cause blotchiness, dark spots, and slow scar healing. And then also just for exfoliating, getting rid of dead skin cells. And then there's also a lot about how it improves digestion, and it's just really good for your lymphatic drainage for your body. And so I've been trying to do this more, and it also just feels really good. I especially like to do this in the morning because it almost feels like I'm waking up my body. It kind of feels like caffeine for your body almost, but at the same time, I like doing it before bed too because it also is relaxing. And so this is a habit I've been trying to do a lot more recently. I'm not super great at it. I'm also about to wash my face, and so I wanted to share that my current favorite facial cleanser, this one is from Lancer. I also really like, I have a Pi skincare oil. I ran out of that, so I've been using this one. I really like that one too. It's more of like a cleansing oil, and I've been trying to double cleanse my skin too, and just get all of my makeup off before I go to bed because I do wear like foundation, blush, all of that. So it's nice to just get a more thorough cleanse. So we're gonna take a shower. I also forgot to mention that I have been using my Grande Lash Serum. I've used this for a while, but I'm not always the most consistent, but I have been using this consistently for so long now, and I have finally started to notice a big difference with my eyelashes. So I definitely recommend this. And also, I forgot that I had picked this up at Whole Foods today. This is a vanilla oat milk sheet mask. My skin is so dry right now because of just the changing season, the winter time. My skin gets so dry. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do this mask for the 15 minutes or so, and then we'll be done. I have also been doing this for years now. I kid you not, this is not just something I say, but I always set out my workout clothes, but oop, it's my timer for the cookies. Especially in the wintertime, sometimes it can be more difficult to get the motivation to work out in the morning, and I definitely prefer morning workouts, so I always just like to keep these out. It's a simple thing, but I'm so much more likely to work out when these are set out, and I even set out 2 options because sometimes I'm in the mood for all black, sometimes I want color. We got both bases covered, and this is just a simple hack to get yourself in the gym if you want to be there. Just got in bed. Aiden is picking up after dinner, and I am going to keep reading this book that I just started. It's The Stationery Shop. If you watched one of my recent vlogs, I talked about how I finished The Nightingale, and I loved it. It was such a great book. And my friend Krista said this kind of has the same feel to it, and so I started this one, and every time I read before bed I do end up falling asleep pretty quickly, which is a good thing, but that's why it's taking me a little bit longer to read that book. That is essentially my current night routine. It's not that different than my autumn night routine, just a few things I like to switch up, but if anything, I just think that these videos are, for one, so much fun to put together, but also just fun to watch too. I try to make them definitely more of an experience. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for spending time with me, and I will catch you guys in my next one. Bye, friends.